Let's talk about the Super Mario elephant in the room. And yes, I know that joke was used when Super Mario Bros. Wonder was originally released, but that makes no difference compared to today's news being that Charles Martinet is no longer the voice of Super Mario. And with that, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. Nintendo of America randomly dropped a statement out today stating, Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario in Nintendo games for a long time, as far back as Super Mario 64. Charles is now moving into a brand new role of Mario Ambassador. With this transition, he will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world, sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. It has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life for so many years, and we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post at a future date. This was definitely a random, kind of out of the blue announcement, but at the same time, for some, it doesn't really come as a surprise. There was a lot of speculation in the past couple months. Ever since the Super Mario Bros. Wonder trailer came out, you saw videos everywhere online discussing that Mario sounded a little different. And at the time, most people counted it up to Charles Martinet is getting older, he's just recorded some new lines, of course things are going to sound a little different from game to game. And now it looks like Charles Martinet did not record the lines for Super Mario Bros. Wonder at all, and that was in fact different audio altogether from somebody else. We don't know who, and we don't know when that will come to light. I think what's most interesting about it is this also comes at a time when Charles was recently kind of shoved aside, as some fans felt, due to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, in where, rather than voicing Mario himself, he was relegated to a few small cameos as Mario's father, and then one of the people in the pizza place as they were watching their commercial. I don't think anyone really saw this coming, though. It's hard to say what caused this. It's hard to say, did Charles decide, hey, I've done this for almost 3 decades and I'm over it. I'm ready to call it quits. Did he see the big dollar signs that Nintendo threw at the movie that he didn't get and decided, well, I've had enough of this. I want to go make some real money elsewhere. Or, did he, does he just want to pursue other roles and other things? The interesting thing is, I don't think there's talk, obviously there's speculation online that maybe it wasn't a friendly parting, but I don't think that's true at all. I think the statement clearly shows that he's still involved with Nintendo. He's not left Nintendo entirely. There still seems to be a bit of a paycheck there coming from Nintendo as this new Mario ambassador. If you travel to any local convention in your area, you can likely find Charles at the event. I've met him on several occasions, not just at E3 when Super Mario Odyssey came out, but he's come to my local Comic-Cons and other events in town. So I think it'll be interesting. It seems like maybe Nintendo wants to partner with him on these events now. Maybe he has a little more influence, or maybe a little more budget behind his appearances now, perhaps. It's hard to say what exactly the role of Mario Ambassador is going to be, but we still have a video coming forward to from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles as well. So I definitely would dismiss any claims that Charles is leaving Nintendo or he's upset about anything from what I can see. The other interesting thing that some people reached out to me about was, well, do you think he's been replaced by AI? And that's why we don't see a new person, or whoever recorded the audio for Wonder. That's why we haven't seen a new name or anything, and that's hard to say because the industry as a whole right now, Hollywood and media, is struggling with terms with AI coming and trying to take over. But I don't know where Japan stands on that sort of thing, and obviously I think Nintendo Japan probably is going to have the ultimate final call in how they handle the voice of Mario going forward. So I don't think it's strictly AI. I don't think that's something that Nintendo would do. That doesn't feel like a Nintendo thing. Like if it was Square Enix, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably true. But I don't see Nintendo implementing AI to fully replace a voice actor like that. And the other question, obviously, is does Charles work for, or rather, Charles voiced 4 main Mario characters. Are you going to try to find someone who's able to do all 4? Are you going to hire 4 different people? Or are you going to have someone do Mario and Luigi and have someone else be Wario and Waluigi? But only time will tell. So that's it. I just want to talk about that today because it was a huge announcement that kind of caught me off guard. But regardless, Charles, if you've never met the man, is incredibly kind and passionate. He loves what he does, and he has brought joy not only to myself, but millions of people for nearly 3 decades. And that's quite a career, and that is absolutely something he should be proud of. So, Charles, from myself and everyone here at VGX7, I want to say thank you for everything you've done. The voice of Mario is the voice of a generation, really, and I don't say that lightly. We all know and love Mario for who he is and how he is, and you have played a major role in that character. It's kind of interesting. My generation, we've always known Charles Martinet as Mario, but in the 80s and early 90s, he was portrayed by different actors in TV shows and movies. So, to some, maybe the older crowd from the 80s, I say older, you know what I mean, older than the 90s kids. Don't, I'm not calling you old, don't worry. For that audience, from the NES audience and the Super Nintendo audience, this may not, be a huge deal to them because, they've seen Mario come and go. And even at this stage, we've seen Mario in a different light already with Chris Pratt. So it'll be interesting to see where things go. And I'm looking forward to the video from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself to see what happens. But, yep, I just wanted to talk about that today and see how things are. Let me know how you feel about Charles Martinet and his departure from Nintendo and his departure from the role of Mario, and what you think Nintendo's going to do in the future going forward. All right, I'll see you guys later.